tonight, it seems I'm tangled up in you, tangled up in you. I can't seem to shake you, baby. I can't seem to shake you, baby. I swear tomorrow that I'll give you up, and I will save the sorrow for when we wake up. But for tonight, it seems I'm tangled up in you, tangled up in you, tangled up in
That's right, we're back. We're live on Chicano Street. It's the Q&A. Gracias to everyone that's watching live, that's watching on the replay. I hope you're entertained, cabrón. Live from the Alisal District. Shout out to everyone that's already in the chat. Again, whether you're watching live, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitch, Landia, and we're also on Facebook, Landia. Shout out to you guys, man. It's a Thursday night edition. We're going to go through some introductions, give some shout outs, maybe a little bit of recap, and then get into all the DMs. Tonight, we're going to answer all of them, every single one DM. There's been a couple messages where I sent it out and I told them, I'm going to compile all these and put them in a Q&A. Well, guess what? 2 years into the channel, and shout out to us because we're knocking on the door at 20K, cabrones. Not shout out to me, shout out to you, cabrones. We're about 19 plus. We're knocking on the door at 20,000. We're going to keep doing our thing. We're going to keep grinding. Without us, the Chicanismo was dead. It was in the water. It was buried. No one was talking about brown is beautiful. No one was talking about la raza. But all of a sudden, we got everyone talking about how much raza and how down and how brown they are. Well, you know what? That's a beautiful thing because that's what it's all about, man. Nothing but murals of la raza out in the Alisal District. Shout out to you guys wherever you're watching from, Nuevo Mexico. Shout out to Los Angeles. Shout out to Utah, Colorado, Texas, New York, Florida, wherever you guys watch us from, man. Just shout out to you guys. And so, yep, knocking on the door at 20K, all because of you guys. We'll read some comments right now. Introductions, though. Aquí viene MTP 408. Dice, ya, güey, ya, calmado, güey. Let me get a little bit of a recap, güey. And we'll talk some shit right now because there's been some DMs. Mikey, they're talking about you on the internet. And it's like, what do you think I signed up for, cabrones? O sea, I know what I signed up for coming on the internet. No soy pendejo. We'll get to that later because we're not ducking any questions. If you got a question, best place to drop it is right there in the comment section. Derek Mallory, I see you, cabron. Shout out to Derek Mallory. Shout out to you, cabron. Salinas Califas, what's up with you, cabron? He's dropping the Chicano flag. I want to add it over to the merch store. Serio pedo. I want to add it that way. We put this Chicano, as soon as this Chicano flag, we started blasting this out 2 years ago, and I've been putting it out that it is our official pinche bandera. Okay? Don't even try to look it up neither. It's already trademarked, babosos. It's already trademarked, so don't even try to look that up, all right? But anyways, the Chicano flag, we're going to put that at the spread shop. I'll make sure, I'll call one of the assistants. Get the coffee, get the sandwich, and add that design, add the flag. That means look for a distributor, get it up there. It's easy shit to run a merch store, right? Does it get a lot of activity? Every once in a while, it gets spurts. Shout out to Veronica Salas. Not too long ago, she bought a couple aprons de cocinar, and I thought that was cool as hell, man. So shout out to her. Anyways, Sal Khalifa, shout out to you. Orale MTP. And then, of course, we got Snoop, 13, 12. Shout out to you, cabron. San Diego is in the motherfucking house. Quick little recap. Let's give some recap before we get into a little bit of everything, because people are asking me about what do I think about podcasts, talking about me. Let's get straight into that. Do you think, cabron, any Chicano va a tener miedo de hablar, like whatever's on his chest? Like, I never met one. And usually if I did, they were beta, right? It's just a little bit different, right? Beta than an alpha. So I never met anything like that. So, well, we're going to get into it tonight without saying too much, all right? So intro, let's give a recap. I want to give a shout out to the entire crew, event, staff, everyone that greeted and gave me VIP treatment from the community. It's really where it came from. It's from the community. Me and my cuñado, me and my brother-in-law, a shout out to him. We pulled up to Taco Fest, and it's over here, and of course, it's in our city, cabron. So we're going to always promote events that are happening in our community because we love community. We love our community. I love Salinas. I've been breathing this air since January 14th, 1981 at Natividad Hospital. I love my community, and anytime they do something, we got to come out there and support. At the gala, which was Carol, shout out to Carol Deza, shout out to Teen Moms, shout out to you, amiga. You're kicking so much ass. It's not even funny, amiga. You're going to break through the fucking Guinness Book of Chicano records, amiga. Chicano records of the fastest growing nonprofit in 1 year mark, in the 1 year time. Anyways, we're over there, and I was sitting next to Councilwoman Margaret Diarrigo. Margaret, how are you, amiga? I'm still waiting for you to tap in, amiga. Let's go ahead and do that interview. And if you don't know, I speak Spanglish, all right? If you're new to the channel, we got a couple thousand in the last month, 2 months. People really love the Chicana short where she said she ain't fucking with the Santa Fe Spring swap meets. No, serio, that short got like 400,000 views already. And then, of course, we get a lot of subs and a lot of follows from that. So shout out to you. If you're new to the community, stay true to the community, okay? Over here, it's a Brown thing. Over here, it's a Raza thing, just like the banner says at the bottom. Oh, yeah, and the phone lines are open. So we'll get to the phone lines, but I'm still on the intros, all right? I just want to acknowledge everyone in the comment section. Ramiro Santibáñez says, laugh out loud. Science teachers in the casa. Shout out to you. Shout out to the science teacher. This still, gente, shout out to the science teacher. This still is my favorite video that I've ever done on the internet. I mean, I've had the mayor of Salas here. I've had politicians here, people on the podcast, right? But when science teacher said, mándame tu pinche sangre, and forget the ancestry DNA, and I'm going to tell you who you are, heritage-wise, blood-wise, that video has more value to me than any other pinche video on the internet. I could retire, shut the channel down. I'm good, gente. I got science teacher to add value over to me, to discover heritage and ancestry. And I already had on my dad's side, science teacher, I don't think I told you this, but about 5 generations up. And on mom's, I only think I had 2 generations up. But on pops, we went up 5 generations. Crazy. Great-grandfather. Pinchy stories. Anyways, Taco Fest. Everyone at the event at Taco Fest, hey, thank you, cabrones, from the bottom of my heart. What happened was we pulled in right there. They said, meet me acá. And they jumped in the car, and the guy was telling me left, right. The dude took me through todo para parquear al lado next to the content creator room. He told me, there's the content creator room. Park right here. There was other content creators, though I have to keep it a buck. I don't know most of them. I don't know why. But I'm going to put out a summit for all of the 831 content creators. This is 100% just the collaboration And the goal of the summit is to promote each other. And imagine the super networks that we can build when 50,000, shout out to us, 50,000 platforms collab with 100,000 platforms, $200,000, and then 1,000 follower platforms. And then imagine if we could deal with issues that like affect us, like pesticides. You know, some real shit that we could really, really tackle instead of going at each other's throats. But I don't want to go off on a tangent, but shout out to Taco Fest. What's Grubbin, Salinas. I don't know all the IGs. Go back and look at my posts. Everyone was tagged on the IG, but they parked me right there. La pulsera en la mano. Me and my cuñado. Ni teníamos que pagar para la pinche cervezas. It was a vibe. It was a vibe. Matter of fact, ahí estaba one of my brides. One of my brides. She was ahí sirviendo bebidas. Catch up with her. Everywhere I went in Taco Fest was like a catch up. 10-year catch up. People I hadn't seen in 20 years out there, and they got rides. And I'm like, man, it's good to see you, cabron. So there's a 20-minute live. You can go back and enjoy that. Loving Salinas, loving the community, loving Taco Fest. The next one, I believe they're going to have the train station popping off. They're going to start using that train station because ever since they got the new Amtrak and Greyhound, okay, a lot of people remember the Salinas Greyhound, the one that was all green with Q*bert video game in there and Pac-Man. That's the only video games they had, Q*bert and Pac-Man. A lot of us remember getting out of that van right there. And if you know what I mean. All right, so Taco Fest. That's right. Look at Jaden David's in the house. What's up with you, cabron? That's right. Journey of Defiance. Bro, keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing, bro. Sky's the limit. When you grind, it pays off. Everyone has to earn their bones and then go and then get there and keep grinding, man. Because the way you're doing it, it's a real successful model. I believe it is way. I'm telling you, la neta way, because in my professional career, all I do is talk business way. 85% of the day, I'm talking numbers. 85% of the day. That's why when I come to the pad, whichever one, I hit it like a switch, and I want to tap in with the familia. But tonight, we're going to do the Q&A. They're talking about you, Mikey. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. You guys wanted health tips. You guys want to talk about ice, and you're talking to me about the fight in September. We'll get to all of these questions on the Q&A. That's right. Shout out to Mr. Goyo. That's right. Speaking of the 831, the 831 is in the building. And shout out to you, Mr. Goyo. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We've already acknowledged everyone in the comment section. Shout out to them. Rambo's Hot Dogs. Oh, gente, tap in with Rambo's Hot Dogs. Go and get your issue, okay? You can't really get Chicali, Tijuana-style hot dogs anywhere in the 831. So in the 831, my people in the 831, you guys follow me on IG, but also follow Rambo's Hot Dogs right there. Trust me, son de Chicali, son de Tijuana. Sabroso, man, sabroso. All right, anyways, long-ass, winded intro, but you guys always stick around, all right? Let me see. All right, first one was who's fighting G the Barber? All right, let's answer that first, okay? Ahí están todos. I'll read it. And the one about a podcast talking about you, hold on. We'll get to that's actually toward the beginning. That's toward the beginning. So if you guys are trying to timestamp it and fast forward or look for the chisme, that's going to be somewhere in the beginning. Maybe like at the 20 or 30 minute mark. So who's fighting G the Barber? So gente, G the Barber, he contacted me. It wasn't too long after Mexican Independence Day. I put myself in his shoes. If I seen my carnal in there, and which is my brother, okay, a lot of people are like, carnal, what are these words? Chicano slang, all right? I'm talking Chicano slang. If you're new to the channel, hey, stay tuned in. You'll learn something, especially Chicano slang or calo or whatever you want to call it, right? G the Barber contacted me after he seen his brother throw his hands, okay? And so I would do the same thing.
Marco Polo subscribed to the channel.
I appreciate the new subscriber, Marco Polo. Gracias, way. G the Barber did this. did exactly what I would do. I would see my brother throw his hands, and if my brother throws his hands, I want a piece of the action. Just not one of those ones that's gonna hold up the background. So G the Barber is gonna get in there and he's gonna collide. So maybe a lot of people know G the Barber a whole lot more than the opponent, or somewhat more than the opponent. I don't know why, because his actual opponent, okay, it was actually involved in the Stories fight. That was the Stories fight of mine that fell through, right? And a lot of the shit talking that people are talking about, like, oh, this podcast talking about you, it has to do with that. It has to do with people trying to interfere and get inside my business and get inside my money and take food off my table. That's what it all boils down to. Not just me. There's other individuals that you can see the hate, right? You can see the hate. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So Stories had a close homie. Maybe he still does. I don't know if they're in contact, right? And his name was, oh man, I want to say his name. If Ace was in the house, which is G the Barber's opponent, Ace 100 from Bakersfield, that's the opponent. Ace 100, 100 with the ID, I guess, is the opponent. I think his name was Junior, or they called him Junior. I think they called him Junior, right? So I'm talking to Stories, and he's telling me, look, I got a co-main event. I got a neighborhood knockout artist. This guy got major hands. Like he's slept everybody he's fought. Pretty much was telling me like that. This is Stories. Pinche Stories, man. Where you been, cabrón? Where you been? This is the Q&A, guys. Hey, hit that pinche like button, and then you guys don't forget, drop inside the comment section. There's questions there as well. I'll go through what I got. We'll do the Q&A. We'll touch everything. But also drop them inside the comment section, or on the Twitch stream, or on the Facebook stream. You could drop comments on all three, cabrones. All three, all right? Anyways, so I said, okay, well then we got a dude who looks hood, a little bit street, looks a little bit, from the calles. Shout out to Droops 408. He looks from the calles. This is Junior. This is Stories' homeboy, right? And I said, well, over here opposite him, I got Ace 100, who's also another knockout artist. So what better than to put Bakers versus, I don't know what neighborhood, or I know he was from SoCal, Junior was from, put him on there, and there were co-main event on that pelea, right? That was the first pelea. The runner came out. A lot of people give me shit. This is why really people give me shit on the fucking internet, right? Telling me who should I deal with or who I shouldn't deal with. Like I'm not a grown-ass man, But anyways, so people know Ace 100, for a minute now, because that fight was going to happen in, what year was that, Ace? 22? Was that a 22? Was that a 23? A 22 or 23 fight, right? We would have already had like 10 fades on the internet if people pulled up and didn't punk out. I mean, just keep it a buck, right? Don't chavala out, And what I mean by that is they talk about people, and then the person says, well, if there's any issue, we could just handle the friendly. And, oh, it don't got to be like that. Oh, it's the internet, and or whatever else they'll say, right? Instead of, hey, something safe inside of a ring, everyone can see. Why not give it to the people? Something friendly. Throw the hands. No biggie, right? Anyway, shout out to Droops. Hey, Richard Alvarado, that's right. What's up, Chicano 2, tuning in from Phoenix. Hey, Phoenix is in the house, man. I'm telling you, man. Shout out to Phoenix. Un chingo de raza over there. So shout out to him. Snoop is saying Ace has been looking for a fight for a couple years. Yeah, he wants to let the hands go. So I got a hold of Ace, and he said, I put the name G the Barber out there. I said, you seen his brother? Of course, I'm just talking about his brother. Everyone's their own individual, right? His brother threw his hands. And that's what I was telling Mile High. I was like, when I seen the level changes on Snowman, of course, I just met him, right? I met him, como así, right? Online. And of course, we're in that awesome event together. And now all of a sudden, we have real communication now because he's fought in the ring and all that stuff. I didn't know that he had hands like that. But when I see people level changing boxing like that, they had training. you don't, just the footwork alone gave it up to me. The footwork gave it up. I was like, come on. Snowman is moving acá, with his feet. And if you know boxing, right? So his footwork was there. And then not just that, the setting up the combinations. So every time he's going in, he's setting up. So I'm like, okay. Now the question people are asking me inside the comments over here, inside the DMs, shout out to you guys. Now the question people are asking me is, does G the Barber got a background of throwing his hands? Or being raised in the gym? I don't know. So I'm going to put it out there because I like to be transparent with both my fighters. I don't know. And the same thing with Snowman. I didn't know until I started seeing the level changes, you guys. So the first question, you guys DM me, and you could drop the questions in the Twitch feed. Shout out to you on Twitch. You could drop it inside the YouTube feed, or you could drop it on the Facebook feed, all right? And they'll come up here on the screen as well, so even you guys can see them, right? All right, so that's who G the Barber is fighting. Do I think, another question asked me, do I think Snowman is going to corner him? I don't see why not, unless it was a schedule conflict. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was a schedule conflict. Of course, at Hermanos, you don't want to leave your brother hanging, you know what I mean? Is the general thought, right? But I think if he doesn't have something that conflicts, absolutely. I think he'd probably be the best corner G can get, because he can tell him what adjustments to make, tell him what he needs to do. At the same time, coach him in the fight. Be right there ringside. What if he sees G algo de algo, and he's shouting it out? So I don't see why not. And of course, wherever Snowman goes, gente come, because Snowman también, he's online, has a big online presence, and he's doing things. He's rapping. So shout out to him. Shout out to the last single. Shout out to Snowman and the last single, cabrón. Keep dropping it. Keep doing your thing. What was it called? It was probably something like gang shit. Straight up. Gang shit or something like that. And I think it's the one that had the Decoy Munoz pop locking in there, and doing his thing. So I think, I do think Snowman's going to corner him. And so we already announced that. Shout out to her. We got the ring girl coming back, locked in, none other than, of course, the people say, they message me all the time, hot, attractive, however you want to compliment her. We got Miss Loca. We got Boyle Heights. She's going to be the official ring girl again. So shout out to Loca and everyone at Hood Stocks también. My hat goes off to Hood Stocks, 200,000 subscribers. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And then to be Raza as well, another beautiful thing, okay? Another one. So shout out to Hood Stocks. I forgot maybe to give shout outs at the beginning of the show, but we want to give a shout out to Hood Stocks, people that rock with us. You know what I mean? This is an internet space that we got, which I pretty much named. I created this whole lane. Basically, I created this genre because before, people are talking about pendejadas and mamadas. Okay, yo soy, or you got the internet tough guys, or you got the fake cholos, or you got a little bit of everything on the internet, right? But we called it the Chicano genre. And then people are coming in, chiming in, hey, are they Chicano or not, and et cetera, right? Now, someone messaged me. Let me read this one. Mikey. It says, okay, I'm not going to read exactly what it says, but it says, it goes into what I'm talking about. It's staying on the topic. I'm not digressing. It's saying there's always a channel or a couple channels that they spin off of what you say, your content, like you trigger conversations. Well, what the hell am I here to do? I want to trigger a conversation. That is one of the main aims. We aim to have, we have it in the Central Coast, the biggest voice on the Central Coast, but we aim to go farther than the Central Coast and have a brown voice that's unified all together so we could deal with real shit. And I'm talking about the stuff that affects me and you in real life, not on Internetlandia, not on Computerland, but it's all good. This is we need Computerland, right? We need computer land. But we do want to have a big voice. Another thing I forgot to mention in the intros is next week, we're going to have a double up show, gente. We're going to have Chicano Street on Tuesday. We're going to have Carol's coming through. Shout out to Carol. Shout out to Little Loca. So Carol's coming through. And then we're also going to have Boricua Mami, I think, is also coming as well. She confirmed. So we're going to have a full 4 next Tuesday. And then that's just the beginning. Mi amiga Denise Aguilar, who was real instrumental just in the last primaries, right? General election, I think, is coming up in septiembre, ¿verdad? Or noviembre, something like that. Denise Aguilar is coming back, trigger people. And to be honest, she's going to trigger mostly Democrats. I mean, I'm just got to... If I have to be honest, I'm going to be honest here. Going to trigger all the Democrats, 100%. She comes, Stockton, Chicana, ready to throw chingazos. Le vale madre, no tiene pelos en la lengua. And so Denise Aguilar is going to be Thursday, and we're going to do that. It's going to be a lunchtime show. So tune in on, so the double up's coming up next week. I just had to finish off the intros. Tune in next week, Tuesday, Chicano Street, Umpanak, Boricua Mami, and Miss Carol Edeza, founder of Teen Moms, a.k.a. Little Loca, is also going to be in the house. We'll have a full 4 in the house. And yeah, enjoy that one. All right. All right. So, salute Gnarly Vatos in the casa. That's right, my boy. That's right, cabron. All right, you guys asked me all kinds of questions. All right. What do you think we got one more question, and then we'll get into the chisme, because some people just tune in for the chisme, believe it or not. You know, they're coming on the internet and tell me the chisme. Well, timestamp it way. You know what I mean? Send a little text or copy the link and simple shit. Do something like that, all right? Because I'm not going to do it. This next one. What do you think of the net raza that painted over Cesar Chavez?
Hell no.
Well, you know, unfortunately, there was a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, there was a good group that were actually, I believe they were doing it from a genuine place in their heart. I'm not saying, let's not get to the act yet. Let's get to the intention. I believe the intention was, you know, some allegations came out and they were very serious. So I believe the intention was good. That's why I don't blast. I'm not gonna blast people. I mean, like Lucky said, does it feel good to blast people? Oh, it feels good to blast people, you know? It feels good to blast people, but this is la carne, cabrones. That's just stirring the pot, and you know, let's act our age, not our shoe size, right? Sometimes we'll stir the pot, right? But so I believe there are a lot of them. The intention was good. Dolores Huerta came out, but I believe Dolores Huerta, again, I'm just going to do a short recap. Let me do a 2-minute recap, okay? I believe Dolores Huerta reacted to a story that was already publicized, and it included her name and included the movement's name, one other person, of course, the main person, and the movement and her. So 3, you know, different, 2 people, 1 entity. And I believe it was just damage control. And whether you want to believe it or not, I mean, the actions speak pretty loud if you just look at the actions. Look at the timeline. Look at the sequence of events. Shout out to Lifestyles of the Unemployed. What's up with you, cabron? Look at the timeline. Look at the sequence of events. That doesn't make you at least want to do some due diligence and hear the thing out? Like, I can't give someone his fair say that he's already crucified, that I know 100% he did it. I don't know. Is there a lot of powerful men that do that? Yes. I don't know why we're talking about Cesar Chavez again, but let me try to do it in 2 minutes. So what do I think of the people that painted over the Cesar Chavez faces? They came probably with good intentions. The act itself was very swift and quick, without even shit, man. I mean, even if you wanted like a speedy trial, you go to like a 3-judge panel or 3-judge. I heard a lot of people from SoCal told me they when they got broke off, They told me they went to like a 3-judge jury or a 3-judge panel, algo, I don't know, algo así. And it's like a speedy thing, boom, a la chingada, and you get your time or whatever. So it would be something like they did it pretty swift like that. And to me, it me dio lástima. Me dio mucha lástima. Porque nosotros no tenemos tantos pinches personas que vamos a estimar, o sea, vamos a poner arriba en un pedestal. O sea, para nosotros el pinche César Chávez era como un Martin Luther King, you know? But that the people wanted to roll paint on him right away. Ahí está la chingada. Yeah, a lot of it too was clout chasing.
Hell no.
A lot of it was clout chasing. Let me do a video because they're recording it. And I'm not saying don't record things, right? People say record the police, record everything. Que te dé la gana. Wear a GoPro 24/7. Record your heart out. You know what I mean? But I thought it was a little bit too quick. I thought there wasn't anything that could be heard out. I thought there was no evidence as far as DNA, children coming forward. I thought it was questionable how you could, in between that, you know, have children with his brother.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I mean, usually if someone attacks you, do you want to get with the brother?
Hell no.
I'm asking the raza, serio pedo. Like, I'm really asking the raza, man. I don't know. Okay, so anyways. What happened to the sound? You can't hear the sound? Oh, good. I'm glad you cleaned that up. Wait, it's probably your internet that got cut off. I'm chilling at the telly. She's chilling. In case you didn't know, I'm doing my thing. That's right, cabrón. That's right. So what was it? What was I on? Oh, the Cesar Chavez thing, real quick. Yeah, so I think it was a little bit for clout, but people really, a lot of people come from a good place. Whether they're doing it for a video or not, only they know. To me, it was a little bit too fast. If you did that in Salinas, we will beat your ass. I mean, you will, I don't want to say we, you know, you will, it's not going to go good for you because there's a lot of people here who you're painting over their parents. You're painting over their grandparents. You're painting over their uncles. You're painting over maybe their great-grandparents. And so people take umbrage with certain things like that. All right, anyways. So the next question is probably the question you tuned in to hear, right? The next question. It says, Mikey. And we're probably going to go a little bit in deep on this one, cabrones. A little bit in deep, all right? All right. This one says, Mikey, what do you think of the won't say names? We don't say names. We don't say names because, yeah, you can come on the internet. Oh, it's the internet. And you put on this persona and act like another person and stuff like that. And then there's some people that aren't like that. Like they don't want to come on the internet and fake the funk and be another person because one, they don't got the time. Two, they value every heartbeat and every breath that they breathe in that, you know, we're not going to do that, right? But I get it. Sometimes people come and the net turns them into someone else because they're trying to chase to see how many dollars they can make. Or maybe they just want to be popular so they could use it as a platform and brand things, which is a very good idea, actually. You know, you should want to get as big as you can on social media. That way, when you got shit to drop, it drops like that. You know what I mean? Like this summer, let me just announce it right now. This summer, I'm coming out with a whole line of supplements for health, and be on the lookout for that because you guys have been asking me about health, and I'm going to show you then this summer. The sun's almost out. Give it about 2 or 3 more weeks, and we're going to come out with a whole new line of supplements, be able to walk you through them, show you the results and everything. But that's coming up in the summer. All right, Mikey, what do you think of a blank podcast? A lot of people do that. That's the majority of people. They'll come on the internet. Hey, well, this is just the net. This ain't real life. This is just I get it. But it just depends how, you know, who you are, really. I guess in real life, right? No one over here, and I'm talking about Salinas. I can only speak for myself, okay? And a lot of people agree with me because people see me every single day. I be all up in everywhere and talking. And this is general consensus. How you act online, you know, it's going to translate how people are going to deal with you in real life. And I'd rather please my community and be and have their support than anyone else. And you know what I mean when I say that, right? So, but there's some, so I won't come on the internet and say things I don't know. For one, I won't come on the internet and act my shoe size, right? I'm not saying I've never done that. I've been into beefs, we've been in guerras, but I gave my palabra. This was on a New Year, on a New Year live, and I still remember it because I don't give my palabra a lot. I don't give my palabra a lot. But I gave my palabra that, like the beef that me and a little lightweight beef me and AC had going on, man. Shout out to AC. That I let that go. And I don't know if there was, or if it was also in general to let it go, but it's not becoming of an individual to come on here, for one, and say things. Yes, you can have the internet back you up, for sure. You can have the internet back you up. You got Mañaco Minds over there. Okay, got a 16-year-old girl pregnant. The internet, some internet is backing him up. Disgusting to me, but that's a whole nother, issue. But the example stands. Yeah, you can have the internet if you're seeking for the internet's approval. But my name has been in some bocas lately. Okay, and let's get to that question. First off, what do I think about it? I don't think about it, to be honest. I've been just doing my thing. Like, I've been busy. The reason I had to take a little bit of time off is I had to open up the Santa Clara office to do some business in Santa Clara, right? And, one of the last goals, I'm just going to put it out right now. One of the last goals I want to do is also build something in the community right there. I'm talking about on the pinche calle, like right there, right? They're actually building, believe it or not, right now, a Chick-fil-A. They're building a whole new Chick-fil-A right there in the community. I thought it was a beautiful thing. I'm like, look, they're really bringing things that we want to the community. Some people are talking about, gentrification. Hey, calma tu pedo with the gentrification. Look, the Alisal district, we're never gonna go for that. The Alisal district is never gonna go for that. You could hire fucking professional rioters or Antifa skinny dudes with wearing all black, and they're not gonna come down the Alisal. I'll tell you that, man. Once they start hearing people whistling, them motherfuckers are gonna take off. 80-pound Antifa, you know what I mean? But look, let's talk. Shout out to Corco. I send mine over to you. I send it over to you. That's right. 831er, right there, cabron. So people message me and says, Mikey, what do you think about blank podcast? They're talking about you. For one, I don't want to go there, absolutely, because it is a reflection, like I alluded to in the beginning, of people. People are going to see me every single day in my community, and they're not going to tell me, it's just for shits and giggles, or it's for clicks, likes, and views and all that. That's just not me, but I understand people will clickbait the shit out of you, right? Like the runner. I got into a new beef, or people. They will clickbait you to waste your time. I'm not going to do that. If I ever do, I give up the channel. It just, my goal is been aligned with just getting a bigger voice. It's not monetized. It's not for money. It's just getting a bigger and bigger voice. And we're knocking on the door at 20,000. So shout out to you guys for the 20K, the 20,000. And like Eazy-E said, they love us, they hate us, but they're talking about us, right? So I'm not going to do that one. So I'm not going to say something I'm not 100% certain. Remember the movie Reservoir Dogs? Remember Reservoir Dogs, right? Big Joe. Joe was the one that put the whole thing together, right? Joe. And he knew who Mr. Brown was, the rat, because he said he's the only one, and he's on the ground, or ahí está el cabrón with a bullet in him, right? Was it Mr. Brown? No. Mr. Brown was cool. That's Harvey Keitel. Mr. Orange, whatever his name is, right? He had a funny nose, right? He looked like pinche un narizón, right? Like como un ganso. And he said the cop, Mr. Brown, got close to him, and he goes, no, that's not him. You got it wrong. Joe, you got it wrong. Joe had it right because he was glitched up. Joe had it right, and he said, no, I already know, because all of you, the rest of you, I'm 100% on. He's the only one I'm not. So that little bit of wiggle room was it, right? So anyways, if you don't know something, it makes you look foolish on the internet just to say something, right? I can name example after example, but we don't need to right now. We don't need to right now. You will see who's got something to say, right? So let's just put it out there, right? Everything out there, right? One, okay? Because I thought in the professional world, in where we got class and stuff like that, there was just a higher standard. A whole higher, and this is, again, 2 feet in or 2 feet out. 2 feet in. 2 feet in, hey, I still want to play the game. Let's just say that. Play the game. 2 feet out, hey, let's help the youngsters, right? I'm 2 feet helping the youngsters. I'm 2 feet inside of the community. I'm a community pinche persona. This YouTube thing is cool. This Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's all to the good. But I don't try to please any of you guys, to be honest. I rather please God, one, and my family. And my beautiful, smoking, sexy, hot wife, and my children, who, si voy a presumir algo, voy a presumir mis hijos. Okay? It's just how I am. It's how I get down. So, acting unprofessional, they're mentioning my name. I'm not saying names. I'm just saying them. For one, I think it's unprofessional. For two, I think it actually just is for content. So people need something to talk about, right? We're on the internet. We got to have something to talk about. So here we are talking about something. But do you have something substantial, concrete? I'll hold. Anyone, and I'm saying anyone of anything. And again, see, this is what happens with the internet, right? Especially here in California, Chicanos, right? It's about to get hot. We're about to throw on slingshots. I'm telling you, we're going to be the only podcasters on the internet, on YouTube, with slingshots in the summer. You can tell when someone is a Chicano podcaster from California. We're just a little bit different. We got a little bit of different swag on us. It's a little bit of a different swang. You know what I mean? So if anyone comes from the calles, they got a little bit of a street background. It's like we really can't shake the whole street, right? Not the whole street, right? But you can conduct yourself accordingly. And I thought, again, I'm an older head, right? I mean, not that old. I'm born in 81, a la chingada, but you know. I'm going to see things a little bit different. And that's how I'm going to stay stuck. I'm going to stay stuck on that kind of thinking. And so it's unbecoming to come on the internet and say something that you're not 100% sure about. Because then when you find out that what you thought was wrong, again, you'll say it's the internet. That ain't shit. Yeah, but put yourself in the other person's shoes. Like, just for a second. Oh, well, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Yeah, motherfucker. I didn't do that neither. My blood pressure's going up. Calmate. We're going to finish this off, though. Oh, man, I just need some water. Boom, blood pressure's done. Vote for Hilton, bro. Yeah, Hilton. I'm going to rally around Hilton for sure. I got to, you know what I mean? Hey, tune in next Thursday. Gnarly Vato, Denise Aguilar. She's going to give us the election recap and what the boots on the ground are doing ahead. And she's probably just going to be talking about the Democrats the whole time. Last time it was the Democrats. Real quick, let me just, Chad Bianco has the People's Vote Intro. All right, boom. All right, and then, of course, Corco, man. Shout out to you, cabron. Yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Watson's in the casa, man. Shout out to Watson. And rest in peace over to Pony Boy. See, that's what it is. A lot of it is, Corco, is... people are trying to tell me what to do, bro. You know? And I realized that. I probably, not long after. It's not like I didn't know that when I jumped on the internet. But when I jumped on the internet, bro, I was already in my motion. It wasn't like... I've been in that kind of moment since like 2008. Stop, smell the roses, take in the moment. And obviously, I guess it's grace of God. It's easier for some of us to release things, right? And I was able to just say, you know what? For the first time in my life, now that casi todos se murieron, I mean, I'm not trying to tear up over here, but I mean, if that happened to you, like say a Job happened to you, like what happened to Job in the Bible, you might reconsider things. Your perspective might go to, from a 5.6, 4.0 to a 1.2, like the wifey likes them. Aperture 1.2, right? and get a lot more focus, right? So, yeah, let's finish this off. I was just giving shout outs out to people in the comment section. People that are talking about me, I've always said, whatever you got, drop it on the internet. Drop it like it's hot. Drop every single thing on the internet, because anyone should know if you come on the internet, there's no fucking nothing to hide. They're going to find you fucking like Maniaco Minds got a 16-year-old girl pregnant. They're going to find this. Everything is going to be on the internet. And so that's
Chris
fine.
Navarez subscribed to the channel.
Shout out to the new subscriber. Everything's going to be on the internet. But again, how much, this is my point. My point is, what is your point in life? Your point in life, your journey in life, if it's still a street sign, if it's still a Roman numeral, and I get the community thing, bro. I don't know why I said bro, like I'm talking to someone, but the community is a beautiful thing. This is my message to the youngsters all the time. I go to the juvenile hall, I go to the camp, I go to all those places. Those youngsters have iPads. They're watching YouTube. So that's why I was always getting on these fake OGs bumpers all the time. All the time, getting on these fake OGs bumpers because the kids are watching and I'm letting them know.
@Machete_408 became a member. @Machete_408 celebrates 28 months of membership. Mandatory movement on the Yada full 60.
Yeah, full 60 right now, cabron. But I like what you commented the other day, Machete, and shout out to you. Shout out for being the members only for the longest time. A pinchy day oneer, man. Shit. Shout out to Machete. Shout out to 408. You commented the other day and you said, all this naming, name dropping, and it's really about advancing the brown people. So we're going to stay in our lane. We carved this lane on the internet. That's why the mayor came, the city council people are coming, and they want, the Alisal district's vote. Well, we're going to grill these cabrones and make sure they're really there to help us. I don't give a shit if it's red or blue. The last thing I wanted to do is gangbang on the streets. And so you think now I'm going to start gangbanging politics? A la verga. Con eso. Anyways, but tune in next Thursday. I am a conservative. I'm just going to keep it a buck with the people. I'll put it out there, Si te ara de los pinches pelos o algo. But tune in next Thursday, though, because Denise is coming. Aguilar. All right, anyways, let's keep on going. They're talking about you, Mikey. One, it's unprofessional. Two, it's absolutely like, where's the clecha? Like, when you find out, again, it's not that serious because it's the internet, right? So let's keep it a buck, okay? Reality is when I turn this off, hit the X and keep it pushing in real life, right? Go eat a pinchy something, right? Some more protein. Ribeye. Go make a ribeye. I got a couple already defrosted. So it's not that serious, like, but if it was in real life, would you be moving like that? I guess is what I'm saying. If it wasn't, so you'd be coming to the junta right there. You got allegations, and then you find out they're not true. What happens at that instance? Somebody, go ahead and answer to yourself, all right? Anyways, they're talking about you. My final words on this, they're talking about you. Podcasts are talking about you. Drop what you got, man. Drop it all. If not, say less. And so, there was a time when I cared. And unfortunately, those were a lot of years that I abandoned my family, and I'm not ever doing that again. You go and abandon your family. You still I love the community, but what has a lot of cholos trapped is the cholos are trapped because somehow it's that needing to belong to this, obviously underworld pinchy part of the community that we can't let go of. So it's that sense for needing to belong to that part of the community. Of course, it's a part of the community. Ni modo que no vas a mirar cholos. Oh, I don't know about your community, but aquí hay cholos, a la chingada. We're salas. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and leave it at that. And I don't know what people are going to say. I think what they're going to say is, oh, you fucking did a fight with the runner. Oh, you did this or you did that. I'll give you that. I will give you that. But you're trying to tell me who I can or can't deal with? For one. Two, I will say that women and children have always been a thing for me. That's why I backed up off that fool. I backed off that fool a couple months while people were still deriding that fool. People were riding that fool so much, and I backed up off that dude in a couple months. At least give me that, because there's babosos that have pictures with that dude, invited that dude over to their house, backyard, barbecues, took photos, and went to Airbnbs with that dude. So, yeah, I will. Of course, you have to fucking face reality anymore. Like I don't face reality. But who I deal with, that's my business. And if I see it beneficial to where, I start a boxing promotion and start putting fools in the ring, I'm talking about real fools. Fools that at least are internet personalities, because internet personalities are a little bit of a draw, right? Then I'm going to think it's going to be a profitable venture. Then I'm going to do it. Will you do it? That's on you. That's on you. I'm not telling you what to do. See, I see a lot of the homies, right? There ain't that many left, right? I can count them on probably one hand, right? And none of them really have cell phones. They don't do this internet thing. They don't do it. They're like, yeah. Like, and I know, like, how can I contact you? Wait, I don't even got a phone or some shit like that. It's like old school, right? They tell me like this, hey, what you're doing for the kids, that's a positive thing, man. As far as I'm concerned, you already know what it is. That means they're going to continue to push a hard line. But don't stop doing what you're doing, because that could help my son or my daughter one day in the future. That's some real shit. That's the realest shit that YouTube has ever heard right there. That I had real, I just spoke to one today. Another one. And I'm like, I want to help you out, get on your feet. Resources, people, just not just that palabra, being accessible, talking to them, because a lot of us get institutionalized, 10, 20, and all this other stuff, and two strikers, and all the odds are against us. You know what I mean? I just talked to a real one today. So what do I think about it? It's just internet cotorreo, leave it at that. But if people had an issue with me taking a photo with someone, let's address that. Let's address the photo. Again, shout out to everyone in the comment section. You guys could drop a question on the Twitch. Corcodor, that's right. I got posted for your homeboy. You already know. Shout. That's right. Machete, he's got posted. That's right. Narlivato, Dixon, Machete, all. That's right. Narlivato, what's up? All right. So let's keep on keeping on, cabrones. Keep on keeping on. It says mandatory movement on there. That's right. The next fight that's coming up in September, that one's gonna be a banger. Will I step out and step inside there? I can't step inside of there. There is one individual. If he pulled up, I would show him the most respect. Professional. To the highest level. All caps lock letters. PRO, professional. Make him feel at home. Give him his own corner, locker, shit, whatever. I've said it. We'll put it on any terms that we need to. Just get in there and just do what grown men do. It's no big deal, right? No thing. Like the dude on No Jumper, right? Jay Hood, right? Him and Spody Face went to catch a little fade. It's really no thing, but it just depends how you grew up, right? And if the guy came, I would still shake his hand, right? After he picks up his teeth off the ground, I would still shake his hand and be like, that's it. It's done for whatever it was on the internet. But the reason I brought that up is because that's another individual that came on the internet and said a lot of things. And again, I'll say the same thing. They're mentioning you on podcast, Mikey. How would they feel if the shoe was on the other foot and it was happening to them? And the truth of the matter is they're nothing of what they're saying. Nothing is true of what they're saying. But you just, let pendejos keep digging themselves in a hole, And then when it comes out anyways, they'll just fucking be like, all right. Well, I got that one wrong, right? I thought this, I got that wrong, I got that wrong. I guess they have a track record of getting shit wrong, right? And we will squash it right there, absolutely. We'll do one round, no minutes, no time limits, none of that stuff. Just UFC 1 style. One round until someone breaks. How about that? You're on Twitch now, Brett Martinez. Yeah, I'm on Twitch right now. It's ChicanoTube, so it's ChicanoTube on all platforms. Blocked here. I thought people don't get blocked here. Or is this not ChicanoTube's channel? Yeah, don't block anyone, cabrones. No, I don't block anyone, but the moderators are going to do what they want. You know what I mean? If anyone has a question, let them ask a question. Like, don't block people. Like, what the hell's going on? You know, this is absolutely freedom of speech. So just calmado, the wrenches, right? The calmado with the wrenches. But the last time I checked, no one's blocked. You know, the trolls just came in like for heavily for a while, and they fucking have exited, right? Because maybe there's other babosos that make themselves more to be pendejos on the internet, so they're gonna go chase other babosos that are easy to make pendejos, right? So let me talk about that photo, right? There was a photo that I put out there, and so what? Yeah, man. And so what? How much does it burn you? How much te arde tu pinche fundido? That I put a photo on the internet. But I get it. It might not be that. It might just be talking, right? It might be more internet talk, okay? So I was in the Sanho office. This is, takes about maybe 30 minutes, right? I'm not going to give you the whole lead up or none of that stuff. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes, right? I'm doing business. I'm in my office, right? That office, it took me a while to set it up, and now it's set up. Now it's pretty much running by itself. I'm going to be more right here in Salas, probably the rest of the year. But I do a lot of business in San Jose. Shout out to them. Shout out to the 408. Shout out to San Jose, right? And I talk about investing, flipping houses, and having people pay off their cars, pay off their debt, buy other homes, get into flipping houses. I'm talking about that kind of shit. So I'm talking about money. If you want to talk about money, get me on the clock. Right now, let's not talk about money. Right now, we're kicking back, gente. So the photo. So I put a photo out there. It was all business. It's all it ever was business. And about the end of the whole meeting, and my office was busy. I actually had 2 people waiting for me already. Still, they want to talk to me. They can see me because my office is all glass windows. I don't know why I like glass windows. It's a very modern look. All my offices, you could pretty much see through them a la chingada. I like modern looking pinche offices, right? So they can see me. I've already have talked to them. Give me 5, give me 10, whatever, whatever. Or you can come back, or my office is right next to everything too, you know what I mean? All kinds of Starbucks and everything, Nob Hills and Safeways. So they could take a break or come back. But anyways, I'm talking business 100% of the time. 30 minutes. I don't like to speed things up, so I do everything. I'm good at what I do. Everyone's good at what they do, right? I'm good at what I do. I'm a shark. I'm tenacious. I do the impossible. I do things other motherfuckers don't do. 100, 200 above asking, 100, 200 below asking. I do some shit, right? 1031s. I move a lot of money around, etc. In the financial world. So we're talking business for 30 minutes. And then when I'm leaving with the familia, I just ask for the pic, right? And then they kind of start like, oh, okay, you know who he is and all that. Yeah, well, I'm in a suit. I'm suited up all the time, So I don't even give off that energy. And some people do, unfortunately, right? I'm a tough guy still. You're 40, 50 years old, still want to be tough. I've already put this out there. Then the son or daughter gets bullets inside of them. Well, they seen dad, so that was the reason they're going to fuck off their life too, because they seen dad, keep pushing that. And I get it. And all due respect to everyone. And then I get the flick, and then I put it up, right? And then the internet starts talking about the flick. Well, this about this about that, and this about this. So let me just give my 2 cents and keep it moving, because you guys have asked me more questions on IG. And then I want to answer some of the chat too, because again, popping over there. Daniel Gonza just stepped in the building. That's right, cabron. And that's that. And I post the photo, and the internet starts talking. Okay, so again, it kind of fits in the same category, coinciding with the same talk, which is people are saying things because they put an emphasis on the streets, which I get it. But if you're going to put an emphasis on the streets, why put things out like you want validation, like you have confirmation, you have validation, or you're either that or you're seeking it from the internet? That's right. Yeah, I heard this, and that's right, I heard that. Are you right there, pinpoint located on the soil that you're talking about? If you're not, or not that connected, well, I know a couple people. No, don't tell me about internet people. I know a couple people. Well, I did some time. Well, yeah, I did some time with some people too. Well, and whatever it is, you keep going down the line. The reason I'm just doing it for content. That one I get. That one I get. You got to have something to talk about. That one I get 100%. Right? So I put a photo up, y a mí me vale, y para ti te debe de valer madre. And that goes to anybody. And I'll keep putting photos up. So you're trying to block my bacon, and then let me get this straight. Also, the other person too, you're trying to block their bacon. You're trying to block their money. You're trying to block their success in life, or whatever your definition of success is. If it's having boxes of metal, cars, roof, ceilings, houses, it could be anything, zeros in the bank, whatever it is. Me, success is when I walk in my home every day and I see my family. That to me is success. But people are different. So I get it. People are clout chasing on the internet. They're going to use it because it's content, but they're saying things they don't know to be true. And I'm just putting it out there as a hypothetical. If they were in a situation where that they knew that was happening, or it happened to them and it was completely false, what would happen in that situation? How would that situation play out? Let me put that out there. And again, is this me trying to be, I'm a tough guy? Nah, fuck. No, I'm no soy nadie, way. That's why at church, lavamos pies, to be honest with you. Lavamos pies in the church. You know what we do? It's an act of humility. It's an act of humility. That way no one thinks they're on a pinche horse or anything like that. You know what I mean? People are not going to take themselves down to ese nivel de humildad. So it's not that. Don't get that twisted. Because if you got that, you got that way twisted. I'm in a suit all day long. I wake up in a suit all day long, and I handle my business. So I took a photo. I'm going to take many more photos. And hey, salute to the haters that didn't like me taking a photo. This drink's for you. All right, let's keep it moving. Georgie says, I'm falling in love with my girlfriend. Niner dude, that's right, Calvin. I'm going to answer that question just because I said I'm going to answer any single question. Unfortunately, yes, about 3 as a juvenile and about 7 as an adult. Different times. The adult was kind of different terms. The ones as a juvenile, there might have just been one break in between those 3. But anyways, what does that make you though? Oh, well, that's what, okay, I guess I didn't cover that, right? What's the real status that we should be concerned about in life? I'm talking about in real life. I'm talking about in practical, standard, evolving, maturing, being a responsible, functioning member of society, Joe normal life, right? What's the status that matters? Because this has been another one that they're trying to throw, and it comes to the streets, and it has to do with the streets. The youngsters already know what I'm saying, because the youngsters, it's with them, they get the 100% pura, Bolivian flake. Like, they get everything. They know all the Chicano stories. They know everything because most of them have brothers and uncles and cousins that know me. And I'm talking about in real life, not the internet. For what, right? The internet, I guess. But like in real life, right? They're uncles or whatever, right? They know the whole story and everything. But so what's the real status we should be concerned about in life? Well, it should be, where are we at when it comes to our position as a man? Number 1. Status number 2, order of what are the most important statuses in life. Let's do that list right there. Number 1, what's my status as a man? That means, am I a man's man? Because that's what ladies like. They don't like beta males. They don't want chavalas, people that can't lead, people that can't change a flat tire. Beta males, I guess I'll say again. Anyways, number 1, status as a man. 2, status in his family. That should matter more, because if that didn't matter so much to you, then the only time the raza would be going behind the walls, it'd be because we defended our family. We defended our family's honor. You know, we did something right in that regards. Status to your family. That should matter more. If you're absent, I mean, come on. Eres como un pinche animal. If you don't support your family, otra vez, eres como un pinche animal. If you don't see your family, otra vez, eres como un pinche animal. Status in your family, right? Number 1, I should have put even status with God, right? But let's go down. 3, status in your community. Say your community, right? I know people throw this on the internet. We'll get to that. The street shit. Oh, yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to the street shit, because the street shit is the one. I don't even know if I'd put the street in top 5, but maybe I'll put it in top 10 because, and you know, again, to me, it's because this is my list of priorities. That's why, cabrón. It could be top 10 because, you know, there might be a time where there's just average Joe Blows that have to defend their family and they get put behind the walls. And then it is what it is. Then you got to do what you got to do every day and not get tired of it. And just, that's it, you know. You already knew what you signed up for. So going full 60, going pinchy balls to the walls, like, that's just like the standard issue. But now it's kind of, they look at it as a trophy. Anyways, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know what number, but I'll put la calles. Let me put the calles, the streets. Status in the streets. The status in the streets matter. I'm not going to say no, because again, it's happened to a lot of us. The environment was one of those environments that it was on, funk season, drive-by season. It just was infested, man. Salinas over here, East Salinas, I compare it to East LA. Matter of fact, someone told me, Mikey, it was one of the DMs, are there any Northern California cities that resemble LA and LA style? And I replied to the dude, I said, cabrón, Salinas. That's us. It was like the hairnets, white shirts, khaki, all that was exactly identical. Just replace the blue with the red. That's it. It's the only difference. Now, I'm saying that because I know it to be true. I know the facts. And I know the history. So I'm not just saying shit on the internet to say shit and then say, wow, it's just the internet, you know, fuck it. Whether it's true or not, fuck it. That's what some people are saying when they talk shit about me. Just say it with your chest. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but fuck it. Say it with your chest, man. Just say it with your chest, right? All right, anyways. What am I talking about? Weed out the victims, that's right. Family first, that's right. Putting food on the table, bring the home bacon, feels good. Oh, the status of the calles. I get that. Trust me, I get it so much that it was absolutely part of the program, right? Like built in me, drilled in me. You couldn't help it. Again, it's one thing aquí afuera, right? But the real bangers were never out here. Most of them aren't out here. I'm not saying people can't get into this or that or you know, have automatic. No, I'm talking about people that I know, right? The ones that went all the way. They look at this internet thing and laugh. Like, this is, well, first of all, the real ones aren't on the internet. I don't know if I've ever even seen a real one on the internet. Well, I've taken a picture with Fruit Stand Joe. That's a real one. Shout out to him. You can pretty much take to the bank, and I'm talking about just people that I know personally in my community, right? And we don't throw names out there, okay? We need to throw names for validation.
Johnny subscribed to the channel.
That's right. Shout out to the new subscriber. Appreciate you, cabrón. But anyways, The calles. Yeah, absolutely. So what I tell the youngsters is, look, man, whatever you decide to do, stare at the wall the rest of your life, 10, 20 years, shoe, get validated, go all the way, man. What, Mikey, you would say that? Yeah, go all the way. You might as well go all the way, and you might as well do it and do it right. You know what I mean? And somehow, hopefully, my prayer for you is somewhere on that road you find Jesus. Whether it's in the beginning or the next DA referral or the next A1 115 DA referral, the next shoot term, indeterminate, whatever. Go all the way. You might as well. Don't be selfish and go out ass backward or rat or tail, because then you're putting your family in danger, and you're being very selfish when you do that, actually. It's as selfish as like committing suicide. That's real selfish too, because again, all due respect, people take their lives and they don't know that their family has to live with that damage, that hurt. And it's very selfish for someone to say, well, I want to take my life because of the momentary pain I can't bear right now. But the family has to deal with that pain and worse the rest of their lives that could really cause healing, trauma, PTSD, and a lot of, it's worser because they have to live with it. But anyways, I'm digressing now. Do that. People will trip out, oh, you're going to tell the youngsters that. Well, shit, I mean, that would be my answer, but do the youngsters ever ask me that? Of course they don't. The youngsters are fighting cases. The youngsters are trying to fight life sentences. I got about 5 or 6 letters. I'll show them to you right over here. 5 or 6 youngsters in Salinas and in Soledad. They still write me. I'll show you the letters right now. Give me 5 or 10 ones, and I'll show you all the letters that I get from the youngsters still. And these youngsters, all of them have life. 35, 45, aggravated, torture, mayhem, all the terrorism shit. All of that stuff, the 186 22s up the wazoo. I had multiple 186 22s. But the internet's a whole nother world, so don't take it serious. Laugh, chill a little bit, get in a lighter mood. Let's switch gears and finish the Q&A, because I'm getting hungry and I got some ribeyes that are defrosted. All right. Unless you guys, I am answering questions. So if I see a question in Twitch, on YouTube, or on Facebook, that will answer that question. And shout out to you guys that are watching live. And if you're listening on to the replay, welcome to the Chicano channel. We pioneered this about 2.5 years ago now. We're knocking on the door at 20,000. We got a loud brown voice over here. Brown is beautiful. We broadcast live from Aslan, Salinas, Califas, Kilvule. Next week, we got Chicano Street with Umpanak, Boricua Mami, and Carol, a.k.a. Little Loca, on Tuesday. And that's the Tuesday show. And then next Thursday, we're going to have Denise Aguilar, the informed mama from Mama Militia. And, I mean, if it's like the first one, well, she's going to tell us about the election recap. Who won the election? Was it rigged? And, of course, she's going to shit on Democrats. That's for sure. All right, let's keep it moving. All right. What are your best... what's your routine? What's your workout and supplement routine? Hold on, I get to that. But when I was in YA in the mid-90s, there was hella fools from city. You know what? They never really sent us to the one that's close to us. We have one. 831 is neighbors with the 805. Okay. In the 805, the commercials on the regular broadcast TV on the local channels, they say Central Coast, Central Coast. Same as our commercials in Salinas. They say Central Coast, right? Because you could throw a rock and hit the ocean. We're like 20 minutes from the ocean, right? We always feel that ocean air. That's why here is always upper 60s, lower 70s, farm worker weather and crop weather, right? But they never really sent us over there. They would always send us to Ione. A lot of us would go up to Preston. Ione. A lot of us would go to Carl. If you were a little bit older, I remember they would send you to Chad. The crazy thing about that, though, man, is if you didn't go knowing how to fight, you learned how to fight, and that's super traumatic, bro. It was kind of like predator and prey, you know, and that it's sad where youngsters had to spend their teenage years chasing people with knives and being chased with knives a la chingada, and that And I seen so many friends of mine go normal. And what I mean normal is just regular personalities come back like squabbling monsters that just wanted a blitz. And like, you know, they were already alphas, but now it's like super alpha level, you know? And the ones that are still here, that means the ones that didn't lose their lives, or a couple of them I can name 4 or 5 of my buddies, or the ones that are behind the walls forever. They went all the way and they're still pushing hard and they don't give a shit about outdates. My respects over to them, you know, first off. Yeah, they just came out a little bit different, bro. So it was crazy. I used to think, are they eating weights over there? What the hell are they eating in the Youth Authority, man? They're coming back blown up like soups. Like they're putting hot water on them and they're blowing up like soups. A la chingada. Oh, man, it's crazy. Okay, what are your health tips and supplements? Okay, so I only work out twice a week. I work out strength training 1 session and boxing another session. It's my diet, gente, that I got down about 90, I would say 90% I'm clean. 10% I'm not clean. I'm not gonna ever say I'm 100% clean. I gotta have a pinchy Kit Kat bar every once in a while for my sanity. I gotta have a small bag of chips, churros, you know, a little antojito, a pinchy little cup of tres leches. Every once in a while I gotta have something for my sanity. But I have a fucking 6-pack, okay? And I don't even want it. That's funny. But it's my health, it's my diet that a lot of people can't get down. The diet, the way I eat is I look at it like boxing. My boxing coach always told me, whatever you eat is going to help you or hurt you. So it's either going to add, everything we eat either add days to our lives or takes days of our lives. When you eat shit for a lot of years, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, yeah, you're on your way to a heart attack pretty quick, some diabetes, cardiovascular issue. Your metabolic fucking numbers are shot to shit, and you probably are going to be diabetic or get some kind of disease like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or dementia. A lot of shit is rooted really in sugar. Sugar is the main reason of chronic disease. Sugar is. It's not alcohol. Alcohol just plagues la raza. It's actually sugar is the biggest killer. So it's my diet, bro. What do I eat a lot? Un chingo de steak. I'm on a steak diet way. I buy un chingo de diezmillo and ribeye way. I have un chingo de chile jalapenos. I put on, even at work, every office, I have 4. All of my offices, I have like a little griddle right there. Con una tapadera way, with a little fan. I'm grilling carne all the time. I'm eating chiles all the time. Queso fresco way. Buy a pound of queso fresco al mexicano way. That's my diet. That's what's going to strengthen me. That's what is going to give me energy. And that's what I'm used to eating. Again, I'm not 100% clean. I break my diet for vacations, birthdays. If I'm in pinchy Mexico, I go 4 or 5 times a year. Cabo San Lucas, vacations, Disneyland. I deserve that. And for my sanity as well. So there I'm eating everything. But it's not hard for me on Monday to get back on it. Because usually I'll fast on Monday, like 24 hours, and then I'll get a night workout. So I'm not trying to build muscle because I box. And so my routine is half strength training and 1 boxing. And my supplements are for men. We want to keep our testosterone levels as high as possible. So we need food that's going to generate testosterone and exercises that are going to release natural testosterone in our bodies. And the food that's going to release the most testosterone are avocados, peanuts, grapefruit, and protein, which is steak, even though chicken has more steak and protein, steak and chicken. That's what's naturally going to release testosterone. The guys want that because if we ever have to throw chingazos, you're going to feel weak. That's why you get knocked out. You get knocked out because, well, 1, you might not know how to fight. You know what I mean? If you don't know how to fight, then you get knocked out. But what I'm saying is that you're weak because your testosterone's down. So as far as exercising, the number 1 testosterone releasing exercising are squats. I know the guys don't want to do that. I know they don't want to hear that, oh, Mikey, that's what the hyenas are doing, or I don't know. You know what I mean? You know, it's just the hyenas, the Chicano word came up. People were like, Mike, what's a hyena? Chicano word. Anyways, it's going to be squats. So I'm not saying you got to get on a rack and put all kinds of weights like you're trying to super, deadlift, squat rack, all kinds of plates. Just do like the ones that I do. You know what I mean? I do like the wall squats. I do wall squats kind of like we're still behind the walls. There's the wall. I do my squats, isolated, go down, I hold it, and I go up real slowly. It's not about numbers. People that talk about numbers don't know shit about working out. They don't know shit about working out. Oh, I did 5,000 dips. You don't know shit about working out. Oh, I did 10,000 push-ups. You don't know shit about working out. That's how I know. You're working out in numbers. You're not even getting sore enough, and you keep working out every day. It's because you're not pushing yourself to the limit. I don't know what kind of weak-ass workouts. My workouts, you're going to be sore for days. Stiff as a board. Like, you're not even going to be able to move, walk, sit down, squat, lift anything. Those are my workouts. So I work out twice a week. So the guys, we got to have D3. That's a main supplement for building testosterone is D3. And you got to accompany that with K2. Okay, let's get metabolic just for a second. This is actually the wife's alley. What I'm telling you next, okay? My wife is absolutely no joke. She's already a nutritionist, lifestyle coach. You don't know how many people my wife is transforming their lives. I think I'm going to tap into it. We talked about it today. This summer, I think I want to at least dedicate some education over to the raza and make you guys have access to things that are going to help you, okay? A lot of it is research materials, and a lot of it isn't, okay? So stay tuned for that release. D3, K2, magnesium, zinc, creatine is what I take right off the rip, okay? D3, K2, magnesium, zinc, and creatine. Yes, I also do peptides as well. The main peptide that help my knee, that's how I started peptides, was my knee. I injected that shit right straight into my knee. Dispensa. I pinned myself, Some fools wake up at 4:30 to work for the familias. Others roll their mattress up to be there for grown men. Yeah. And, and they're both grown-ass men. And I respect both of them 100%. I take a little umbrage, gnarly vato, to when people are supposed to be professional and say they got class. What happened to that, man? Whatever happened to professionalism? Whatever happened to class? Whatever happened to, I guess those two things, So anyways, Mikey, in September, how many fights are there going to be? Right now we have 4. The co-main event is the next one I want to announce. I want to put them on the poster. We're at least going to have 4. I don't know if we should do more because, again, I want to do more of a show way. Wouldn't you rather see the stream live with all of us kicking back, also chilling, like for a little bit? I want to do that. I want to do in real life streaming on this fight. I want you to see all 100 of us, 200 of us, have a camera follow me around, do little short interviews, or not just chop it up with the people streaming live. I'm letting the people know this is going to be a streaming experience in September. It's not going to be let's watch 6 fights, and you can watch free fights all over the place. I got the Fire Stick way. I got the Fire Stick. I have like fucking 10,000 channels on the Fire Stick. I can watch fights every day if I want to, So we can get enough of fights already, but I want a real interactive experience with our community, bro. So we might just have to do it on Twitch and Kick because they let us play music over there. And I think it's going to be better. So YouTube, I don't know if we're going to be on YouTube. YouTube, to be honest, is it's the biggest community we got. IG's bigger, or is TikTok bigger? I don't know. They're all 20,000, I think. But I want you guys to have the full experience. So I'm thinking of that in September, bro. But I do got 4 fights. I don't know if we should put more, you know what I mean? Or maybe we should cut to the crowd and do some, back and forth with the crowd, interact with the crowd in between fights. I'm thinking of all that stuff, bro. All right. Jaden David, what did you think of Blasi's product, Don Flores? If you saw that. I didn't see that, bro. What is Don Flores, bro? Is that like a hair gel or what the hell is that, bro? Tres Flores, that's the reason I said hair gel or hair product, because he said Don Flores. I don't know Blasi. I don't follow Blasi, but I do know Hood Stocks. We're going to talk about a lot of things podcast-related way on Tuesday, JD. So Tuesday, tune in. We got Umpa Nak, Boricua Mami, and Carol, a.k.a. Little Loca. She's going to come through, and then we'll talk about, maybe give a shout-out to the podcast and maybe react also. I know I wanted to do one reaction on him, which was, it was the Food's Gone Wild one, where Lucky was talking about Food's Gone Wild with Blasi. He was with Blasi. That clip they sent me, that one I am going to react to. That was a good clip. Did Foods Gone Wild sell us out? I did a whole video about it. Go back in the catalog, watch the whole video because I dedicated a whole video to it. And, he doesn't represent La Raza, man. But people are going in on the internet. Is he Raza? Is he Raza? That's that more cutthroat, pinche. We go at each other's throats, shit, a la chingada, with the pinche fierros. That's more internet shit, Is he Raza? Isn't he Raza? I don't know. Only God knows. And his wife and his family and his parents and his family, right? Does it matter? Well, they'll throw the culture vulture thing at him if he's not Raza, because the Raza is tired. We're very tired of people that are not Raza coming inside of our space, grabbing our trends, our lifestyles, like Chicana Smile said on Hoodstocks, our plights and struggles, and capitalizing on that for their monetary gain. That's not right. I'm 100% against that here at Chicano Tube. Chale with that. We'll blast. Oh, shit. I'm already cutting myself. Oh, shit. A la verga. This shit is sharp, eh? We don't play with culture vultures. You know what I mean? Mañaco Minds being 10% Mexican. We don't play with that. I know Slug said, let him teach it. He loves the Mexican culture more than a lot of Mexicans. Okay, I get that. But to me, he's 10% Mexican. You know what? Shut your mouth. Wait. Don't say shit, bro. Like, talk about your pinche Armenian culture or something. I don't know. All right, what's next? Oh, health tips. So yeah, I talked about the routine and peptides. Just to finish it, it's because I went for the MRI. At first, they want to do surgery because last September I had a partial tear in my ACL, a partial tear in my meniscus, and the doctor said I had bone contusions. That means my bones, bone contusions are like my bones were bruised, gente. And so the doctor wanted to do surgery, and I put it off because I was like, I'm not even going to fight anytime soon. And then I was going to open up the San Ho office, the Gilroy office, And so I didn't want to do it. And then when I go back to him, he's like, this shit's self-corrected. And I'm like, it's probably the peptides. I take BPC 157 and I take TB 500. And I was injecting that shit straight into the pinche rodilla, and that shit worked miracles. Because all peptides are natural occurring amino acids. That's all they are. And so they're bioidentical to any signal that's already in your body. So people are finding out they're losing all their pinche pelo on the, they don't have no more hair, están calvos a la chingada. Well, they take a peptide for that, and guess what? Boom, yeah, they start growing out all their hair again. A bush of hair comes out. Or they have all kinds of ronchas. They take up something that helps that out. Or their something in their metabolic system is off. They're diabetic. So they take something that's going to help them. You know what? This summer, we're going to talk about it. I'm not going to help the raza halfway. I'm going to help them all the way. That's for sure. All right. It's almost 9 o'clock, gente. Let's read some of the last ones. Squats, they work the core in your legs, biggest muscle in your body. Yeah, and they can lift about 3 or 4 times the muscle. And so they say squat is the most important exercise that releases the most natural testosterone in your body. So you don't have to do it like a chick and have a big old squat rack or, like chicks. Just do like the wall squats, with 2, 10, 20, 30s, whatever you want. Well, 30s are going to be heavy, but, 10, 20s, and just hold down and go all the way down, hold it, and then go all the way up. And it should take you about 15 seconds to go down. And about 15, and then hold it for another 15 and 15 to go up. Okay. Do that until you can't no more. Don't count it. Oh, I'm going to do 10. And people that do numbers on their workouts don't know shit about working out. It's about tearing your muscle and regrowing it. I exercise every night, work on the ground and pound game. Wave Kermit, the DMT fraud. He's on the Joe Rogan podcast, popping DMT a la chingada, man. With Eddie Bravo and Joe Rogan popping all kinds of chingo the DMT. DMT is a trip, man. It's something that gets released also naturally inside the brain. They say those kind of instances where you can get into the kind of this transic stage into like another fucking realm of dimension of consciousness. They say that happens in the middle of the night, right? Cortisol levels are the lowest. Sleep is really deep, about 3, 4, in the middle of the night, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. They say that's the time that you could really tap into that. They say there are some benefits in that, but I haven't really read too much about it. They can be beneficial. Not looking to gain muscle. Is good for cardiovascular benefits, burning calories, muscle endurance, those serious people. Yeah, you want to know what you're doing. What are your goals? Okay. You want to burn calories? I'll tell you a shitload of exercises to burn calories. I'm telling you where I'm at. I'm 180 pounds. I've been 180 pounds, 6 feet, very lean for at least since last year. I didn't start, I started training really. I've been healthy for since 2012. Yeah. That's when my last son was born. And then I started boxing. 2012. But where I'm at now is those are my goals. What are your goals? I don't know your goals. Are you fucking 300 pounds, a big old roly-poly, and you have a big old gut, all kinds of inflammation, you have fucking liver failure, are you psoriasis? I mean, drinking too much. I don't know. Everyone has their own where they start at. But where you can end back at is get your YA body back. Get your YA body. Why don't you get that back? Why don't you be at your peak? Why don't you be at your best? Why don't you be at your sharpest, your more alert? I get it. People deal with the demons and they can't get past the fucking demons. It's Friday, 5 o'clock. I got to grab a 6-pack. Chale with that, man. Grab a fucking workout. Grab some water. Grab some creatine. You know what I mean? But everyone has different things. Like my father-in-law, the diabetes completely reversed. Took about 3 months. Was it 2 months? 3 months. It was 50 pounds. He lost 50 pounds in 100 days. We're able to get our hands on his diet and reverse everything. It's been an emotional podcast. No, there ain't no estrogen over here, bro. You got that fucked up, bro. There ain't no estrogen over here. Emotions, way. There ain't no estrogen over here, my boy. But shout out to Dead Mike. With the peptides. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, again, I'll put this out there, Dead Mike, but get at me, Dead Mike, on IG way. If you're on IG, TikTok, Dead Mike, get at me way. If you're on Facebook, X, Twitch, ChicanoTube on all platforms. Here you can only drop messages on videos, right? But yeah, you're right about that. So I don't know if you knew this, bro, but it's like $200-$300 a batch. To get that shit para mirar, si es limpio, it's like $200-$300. So that's why it's pricey, bro. It's not cheap. But all of that is included in the final price tag. That the batch is clean, pure, exact. There's actually, there's already reputable. It's because RFK is not banning them, bro. Because again, natural current amino acids. Why are you gonna ban that, bro? When you find out it's biologically identical to every signal that's already in your body, every amino acid. Protein is just amino acid, bro. That's all it is. So take un chingo and get all fucking yoked up and mamado, I guess, if you want. That was just never my goal. So the ones that I get really are for recovery and to help my metabolic system, to keep me sharp, keep me energy. I don't give a shit about the fat burning. That's what the women are doing. And again, you got to be careful. Again, just watch who you go for. Don't ever buy that shit in the alley. Like Dead Mike said, don't buy that shit in an alley. Don't buy that shit in Chinatown. Don't buy that shit from the homegirl that posts a lot of shit on Facebook all the time. She's trying to sell everything.
Rogelio Pedroza subscribed to the channel.
Shout out to Rogelio, man, the new subscriber. All right, next one. Let's keep it pushing. I'm trying to answer these ones. Do you believe in the Bible? Let's talk about that one. Do I believe in the Bible? I absolutely do. It won't be long. Let's answer these last. We got 20 minutes. Do I believe in the Bible? I've had an encounter with God that only I know, and no one can talk me out of it. I don't give a shit about religion or man-made systems. I'm talking about relationship. I've had an encounter where it's kind of like the Legion. Legion, 3,000 demons inside of them. Así estaba yo, güey. I thought when I got baptized, the whole water was going to turn black. I mean, black a la chingada. I thought when they dunked me, like motor oil, güey. It was going to look like the pastor went in there with clean water and he was going to pull me up with motor oil water, right? And I remember I was sitting one time at church, bro, and I remember the devil spoke straight into my ear. Straight into my ear. He spoke straight into me. You know what he told me? You're the worst one in this whole pinchy place. That's what he told me. Straight to my ear. Straight up. Yeah. He told me like that in my ear. And that sounds exactly what he would tell you, right? That way you can feel ashamed. Hey, you're not going to fit in with these church people. They're church people. What about you? You did this, you did that. You tied up people and families and did all kinds of crazy shit. You're the worst one in this place, man. I remember that. So I believe in the Bible, absolutely. I perform ceremonies sometimes still, really most for friends and families. And yeah, man, absolutely. You got to have a spiritual side of you because the human being is spirit, soul, and body. Those three absolutely make up what is a human being in every single department, okay? It's spirit, that covers some facets. Soul covers other facets. And body is another facet. What we're talking about, the question before was trying to take care of this body. Stop buying 6-packs, 12-packs every weekend. Stop saying you can't drop the beer and the alcohol. Stop saying you can't stop the sugar and the fucking bags of chips and all the processed seed oils and drive-thrus. Stop saying you can't do that, bro. You can. Get a hold of me, man. Get a hold of me. This is what I really like to do, help people in real life. This internet shit, I guess I'm an internet motherfucker. I don't know. Maybe I am, you know. I take creatine and fish oil. I can still keep all the. Yes, good. So I didn't mention that way. You reminded me of that one. I take fish oil also in the morning. I take 2, I don't know, 5,000 milligram capsules of fish oil. The creatine, you got to bump it up on the creatine, Dead Mike. They're lying to us, bro. Creatine is so essential in our system. It helps everything. Creatine is really the driver of a lot of things in our body. One of the main ones being muscle. And we need to lift weights even if we're 80, 90 years old because the muscle that doesn't get used deteriorates. And we're losing it after 45 at 3% a year. So don't take the Dead Mike. Don't take the fucking the recommended dose on the creatine. They only want you to take 1 to 5 milligram scoop. Bro, take 4. I take 20 milligrams. I take 4 scoops of 5 milligrams every day. And if I work out, if it's I take another one, whether it's either the bag workout, the boxing drills, footwork. I do like a footwork bag workout where I do footwork for 30 seconds, hit the bag 30 seconds, footwork 30 seconds. I do different kind of workouts. Mine are never the same. Take creatine after that too, but 20 milligrams of that. And the good shit too, I'm not talking about the $40, $50 shit. I'm talking about like the $70, $80, $90 stuff. You get what you pay for, you know. I'm not a proponent for powder protein. Most of it has been tested, and most of it is 70% processed byproduct garbage. 70%. I don't give a fuck what label they put on the fucking bottle of protein. Most of these over-the-counter products are not clean. And there's research to that. There's studies that show that. But there's research and studies that show creatine can be clean, can be received pure in a powder form. But and everyone's just slapping labels on things. Look at this. This is my fucking gym's juice. My gym's pre-workout. All that, you're shitting. 70, 80% of that, you're shitting on the toilet. Would you still take it if you knew that? Oh, Mikey, then how do I get protein? Fucking eat a ribeye. That's the best protein. Eat a ribeye, eat a steak. Go get 10 mil. Go buy some carne. Get a little fucking grill. I got it in my office. I'm grilling every day. A la chingada. Get real protein, all right? Anyways, Bible, yes, I believe in the Bible. I'm a Christian. I'm not a perfect Christian. I'm still ordained. I still do some ceremonies. I'm involved in the church, obviously. I run departments in the church. I do other things in the church in real life. I was just talking to a church official today from Victory Outreach. You know what I mean? And so we're talking about doing a big event and saving souls, big events and stuff like that, right? And if it came to the gang shit, imagine the Victory Outreach, like the gang shit. Like imagine if I cared about the gang shit, what they try to come after you on the internet about. Probably half the motherfuckers at the Victory Outreach probably también, ¿verdad? Están pendejos o hicieron algo to go out ass backward. But do I care about the gang shit? No. The internet cares about the gang shit. I care about the community and moving us forward and helping the community. But anyways, he says, I take... Oh, okay, got it. I did a testosterone test, Dead Mike, this year, not too long ago. And I'll put it out there. Shit, I was 45. I came up like 595. I think it came out to like 595, my testosterone test. And I was 5 points away from being above average testosterone. So testosterone gets read on a level from 0 to 900. The low range is 0 to 300 or 350. The mid range, 400 to 600. Let's say 400 to 600 is mid range. The high range is 600 to 900. I was 595 I did it this spring, early in the spring, my testosterone. And that means I was 5 points away from being above average testosterone. So to me, it's not beneficial to get testosterone, even though I know it's natural, it's very bioidentical. I understand that as well. UFC fighters used to use it as well. Fighters have used it when VADA didn't restrict it. Now they pretty much have made it illegal again. So for me, it's not beneficial, one. Two, it also affects your fertility. So I'm done already, with kids, having kids. My youngest is 14, little Matthew. And, but if you're thinking of procreating, obviously you did your research, did Mike? I know you fucking did your research, cabrón. But anyways, and so I didn't need it to replace my natural testosterone. Like Tecato Fitness, if he did a testosterone test, he'd be negative 300. You know what I'm saying? When Flores is a flower pot Blazer release and it looked like a senior flower vendor. It sold out in 2 hours. That's right. Shit. Talking about making power moves? Hell yeah. 99% creatine straight. Yeah, yo, shit. Yeah. So the one I get, I don't know what it's called, man. I used to get the Gary Brecka protein and that was like an $80 pouch way, or 3 for $120 or something. No, 3 for $180. Until I even found out, a couple of videos came out, they tested that and found out that even was like 40% processed. I don't want anything that's processed if I can avoid it. Again, I understand McDonald's is processed, Wiener Schnitzel, and that's good, yummy food, at least with flavor or whatever, right? Every once in a while I indulge. That's why I said I'm 90-10. But every single day, I'm not going to take scoops of processed powder. And most protein powder is processed. I hate to burst people's bubbles, but do you want me to tell you the truth or sugarcoat it, 600 is hot. Yeah, I was 595. You know what it is, bro? It's testosterone way. I probably get it from Pops way. I'll post a picture of Pops. Pops was a man's man, bro. Fucking sideburns acá. Michoacán, Cualcomán, riding a horse. He had 3 brothers, no sisters. It was the Diaz Martinez family from Michoacán. And Pops was like, he was like a Chuck Norris. Like, you knew the dude was leaking testosterone, but other people are deficient. But I'm sure you did your research, and if you want to get optimal levels, then yes, it's a game changer. You want the energy, especially if you squat, you have to fight. Hell yeah, you want that energy. And especially if you want gains, hell yeah, you want that with gains. And if your goal is to get mamado, hell yeah, you want that. It depends your natural levels. To me, that's what I was going to look at it. Let me see my natural level, and it was 595, bro. That was just like 2 or 3 months ago. Maybe not even, maybe 2 months ago. I remember I had to send all kinds of blood. They sent me a little thing. I had to poke my finger, pock, and that thing was like, damn, that needle almost went to my bone, dead Mike. That little thing of, what do they call it? That clicks and it pulls your blood. Bro, it had a little pin needle in there, bro. It must have hit my bone. That shit hurt all morning. And then I put it on the paper and I sent it, and then they sent me the results. No, I did a Zoom. with the doctor, and then he gave me the results. And he gave me all the options. He goes, it's on you. But they have to kind of, be, what's it called? Ethical, and let you know everything about it. Not just what you want to hear, not just because they're trying to sell you some shit. You could tell when someone is salesy, you know what I mean? Because they're just trying to sell you some shit. Even when in real estate, in the beginning, I sounded salesy because I wanted to crush it. After a while, I'm like, I don't give a fuck if they do business with me or not. And because I'm too busy. I got so many clients, and now I'm dealing with private investors that want 120 units, 200 units. They want to swallow them all up, and now I'm researching buying a lot of shit in the Central Valley and buying up the whole Central Valley with my investors. So I'm just too busy where I don't need more clients. And when my attitude turned into that, all of a sudden everyone hit me up. I want to invest. I want that money. Show me the numbers and shit. All right, I believe in the Bible. All right, do you support ICE? Here's a good one. Do you support ICE? Oh, shit. Okay, we're going to talk about this one. I'm shooting blanks. I'm chilling. Oh, okay. He's shooting blanks. Oh, man, that's crazy. But you know what I mean? That means that means either you chose not to have children, which is really not God's plan, way. But I mean, it's up to you. You're a grown ass man. If you are a man, you choose to do what you want, or you already have enough kids. Whatever it is, I respect it, my brother. But yeah, it's gonna get you mamado. I just didn't need it. I was 595, way. Either March or April, I did that test, way. So Chicano Nation TV's in the casa. Hey, shout out to you, man. Shout out to the raza. All right, let's get into a raza topic. Perfect timing. We got 8 minutes left. We only got 2 questions left. Actually, no. This is the last one. So I'll answer this question. Any other questions on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, hit that pinche like. And if you're watching on the replay, we appreciate you. This is the Chicano channel. We push here. We got a large brown voice. And we're about unity of the raza. And we're about advancing the brown people. It may sound like, we bump heads with raza all the time on YouTube. We bump heads. No, it's just pendejos want to come after me. And it's funny because, like I said, if I ever tell a lie, I'll shut this channel down. If I was a pendejo and con algo, why the fuck would I be on the internet? You know what I mean? We've already seen the babosos. They get constantly trolled and their neck pressed all the time. And do they deserve it or not? Well, that's up to each individual, right? If they can't come out in public, then obviously the street cabrones on the internet are going to press their necks all the time because they can't come out in public. I get that 1,000%, believe me. All right, anyways, we're digressing. I'm going to wrap this one up at 9. Do you support ICE? Damn, man, this is going to be a crazy answer. Shit, we're going to clip this for sure. We're going to clip this shit. Food community, he says, big speaker from up north and all that. And I'm like, well, wait a second, cabrón. I'm not no speaker for nothing. Wait, what the? Why you got me the big food community? Why am I the big speaker from the north? And those captions are wild, man. Shout out to Top Food, All Facts Podcast, Hater World, Hood Stocks, man. Shout out to all the podcasts, right? The brown ones especially. All right. Do I support ICE? What is this whole ICE thing, man? What is this whole ICE thing? For one, the whole ICE thing is turning into a very emotional topic on the internet that people want to turn it into a litmus test all of a sudden. That this is the best way to find out if you found and spotted a sellout. This is the easiest and best way to find a sellout. He supports ICE or he voted for Donald Trump. Allegedly, supposedly, this is the modern day internet. This is not the internet in Mexico. Mexico, they don't give a shit about that, right? This is the internet in the United States of America. And currently our space, which is the Chicano space in California. So what is ICE? ICE is an agency that really... It started back in like the 1700s, okay, with customs. First, it was a division of customs, right? What they were doing was enforcing tariffs on the people. Yes, tariffs are old. It ain't no new shit. It's old shit. They're enforcing tariffs on people after we formed our own country here, the Constitution, Founding Fathers, all that good stuff. The Brits and everyone else, England and all these other people, right? They're enforcing tariffs because the tariffs... are a big driver of the economy. They're either going to fund the infrastructure or they're just going to be for, I don't know, government free assistance programs, whatever. They're just going to make up, voids in the financial, budget. They're just going to use the tariffs for whatever they wanted, right? And then it started morphing, right? Then it turned into, in 1800s, more documents started coming out. Things started to get amended. Now, the original documents of like the immigration, yes, I've researched them once upon a time. I do know the language. This is why a lot of people say the white supremacy thing, right? The white supremacy. They say that because in the founding documents, it did say things like if they're non-white. If they're not white, they're not white. And so, people get that and be like, see? You got some of the founding documents of the country. They say they're not. Well, I get it. Wait, I mean, fuck. What do you want me to say? If it's there in black and white, shit. Then they said it, right? Obviously, that was way before civil rights or anything like that. We're talking the 18th century and the 19th century right now. So customs turned into from tariffs and it started morphing. etc. And then it started to form customs and enforcement. And by the 20th century, which is the early 1900s, the enforcement aspect came to it. And now the whole division, which is immigration, and these are all entities were operating differently. But then they decided to join them. You know, they decided to just say, you know what, let's just join them all together. And, you know, they've done big sweeps of, especially La Raza. They've done big sweeps of La Raza. We got one operation. I'm going to say the word. People get mad when I say this word, but I don't know why. I mean, maybe you didn't grow up in the hood or grow up around Chicanos, but I mean, that's on you. I mean, shit, what do you want me to say about that? That's on you. You know, Operation Wetback, when it was during the Great Depression and the Great Depression days, they're like, fuck it, we got to wrangle up the wetbacks. I mean, what do you want to say? I'm going to say it just the way they said it. I mean, shit, you're going to get mad at me. But it's all good. Operation Wetback, and they threw a couple 100,000 into trains and threw them back over the border. Because shit, if they can't feed Americans, then much less los pinches Mexicanos. And then the Bracero program in 1942, I want to say it started about 1942 and all the way through the 50s and 60s. When World War II, people went to war. They decided to bring Mexicans. And then they started protesting against that because they were like, well, shit, these are illegals over here, and they're taking our jobs, our benefits, our money. So at some point, they were cool with it. But then the thinking changed, right? The 50s came, okay? Still more calentadas, nothing, you know, the brown man really didn't have shit coming in the 50s. And then the 60s came, and we still getting calentadas, right? Except like in Texas, they were hanging us on trees. The Texas Rangers were not playing with La Raza. With Chicanos, they didn't have it as bad in California as they did in Texas. Over here, they might have been giving us nightstick calentadas, you know, dropping us off in rival hoods or other razas hoods or some dirty shit like that, right? Or like I heard a lot of the OGs said, they're just the biggest dope and gun dealers, you know, was the gobierno. But anyways, but the 60s came, and then that changed, and then 70s. So, you know, they decided to get rid of the braceros. So anyways, 9/11 happened. Long story short, 9/11 happened, and now it's ICE, which they're actually, well, we'll get to that right now. They might change to NICE. When that happened, now they want to know, they want access to our phone numbers, our phone calls. They want all our information, blah, blah, blah. And that's what happened, right? Let me try to wrap this up. And so now let's go through political history a little bit. How long ago did you, ask yourself honestly this, how long ago did you give a shit about politics? Give a shit about politics. The people that obviously give a shit about politics are the net bangers. Yeah, I voted for that movie. I voted for Trump 3 times. He gave away. You know, I stood with my chest because obviously I thought he had the highest IQ of where the fuck was his opponent. Okay, and that's my business. So I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? How do I see the dude? Well, he's a whole villain. Mike Tyson, a lot of people fucking a lot of money, and then Mike Tyson lost it, but now he's back. So shout out to Iron Mike. When did you give a shit about politics? Because you sound like the kind of person that walks into a party and kills the whole party, buzzkilling the party because you're talking about politics. That sounds like the net banging politicians online, right? But so my question is, when did you care about politics? Which president? Oh, you really don't? Okay, so you really don't care about politics? Okay, well, you're in that monton, I'm gonna vote or whatever. Okay, well, then don't come, right? You don't want to vote. You don't give a shit, right? Again, I'm not here to push anything on everyone, but just be me, right? Keep it a buck. Was it before 45 and 47? Or was it after 45 and 47? Did you jump on the political bandwagon because it was the cool thing to do because people were shitting on people and there was, you know, hundreds and millions of dollars and maybe potentially even billions of dollars that has been pumped out in public to, you know, against certain agendas, right? Like the family model. Nowadays, people aren't into marriage. They don't really promote marriage. They promote being independent. They promote being single. They promote living your best life, right? That's the opposite of the family model. That's the opposite of getting married and having children, right? Which is like the American dream, whatever you want to call it, or the model of whatever, perfection, or whatever you want to call it, right? I don't know. Call it what you want, right? They push agendas against that, millions of dollars, so as to brainwash us that way. They push millions of dollars to brainwash us against this, right? Now it seems like the dividing question is ICE, right? ICE, ICE, ICE. So a politician that says they're anti-ICE, they will prosecute ICE. Automatically, he or she has your vote? without even caring about that person's policies? I mean, I'll hold. I'm asking a question here. I'm going to get to my answer on do I support ICE or not. But I want to build it up. That way you can ask yourself these same questions. I think in all fairness, we can go back and forth and have a dialogue about this. Let's talk about this, okay? Before you say, give me a yes or give me a no. Where are you really coming from? What is your real intentions with that question? You know, is it because you want to jump on with the cool kids on the internet and just say something that sounds cool, brown, and down? Because I'm probably browner than you, for sure. And I'm probably more Chicano than you, for sure. And I'm probably more Mexican than you, for sure. How many more boxes do you want me to check off? Okay. So where are you coming with that? You know, I mean, did you just jump on the gravy train, you know what I mean, et cetera? Or, you know, because whatever, you know what I mean? So, yeah, because Obama, you know, he ended up throwing more people in cages and deporting more people, but I never heard anyone shit on him. You know what I mean? And he still has the record. Like, we haven't even gotten to 20% of his record. But I don't know. And then Clinton in the 90s, well, he took away due diligence. And when they amended immigration laws, because there's too many people inside those inside those camps. People call them concentration camps. In those camps, so Clinton was like, get them all out of here without even a fucking court date. But no one shitted on Clinton. But now it's like a fire. Now it's an emotional trigger. Now it's a heartstring kind of topic. Just be careful with what you throw out there. Hate the opinion. Don't spread hate and hate the person. Because if you have hate in your heart and you hate the person, something's wrong with you, not me. You, motherfucker. Do I support ICE? Support ICE. Here's my final answer. I don't know what you mean by support, for one. I look at immigration enforcement no different than I look at law enforcement, and that's putting everything in the law enforcement bunch. You could put highway patrol, sheriffs, PD, correctional officer, jail guards, any kind of administrative job that has to do with law enforcement, criminal justice. I put them all in the same thing. Border patrol. I have cousins that are border patrol agents. Are you telling me they're not Mexican? Answer that question. My cousins that are browner than you, downer than you, more Mexican than you, and they work for CBP, they're not brown? Or are you the kind of pendejo that comes on the internet and thinks, well, if you vote for this person, you ain't Mexican? Are you one of those? Because I see a lot of gabachos doing that. A lot of gabachos, they're throwing it at the fucking Mexican. Oh, he ain't brown, he ain't brown. Motherfucker, you ain't brown.
Hell no.
You ain't brown. But we side with the gabacho because the gabacho, and we're on the same political team. Who's the sellout then? Support law enforcement. I don't know what you mean by that, but ultimately there has to be law enforcement, because if we go back to the caveman days, only the strong survive. And if you're a little weak beta male that can't protect his family, they're going to come in there, snatch your shit up, take all your possessions, take everything you got because you're weak. So we have to have some kind of law enforcement. I'll let my answer be that, man. All right, guys. Last comments, last questions. Feelings are going to get hurt with that ICE question. Yeah, bro, but I'm going to answer it, bro, because is Paco a sellout? You know, he was on blood in, blood out. Do you think Paco lost his hands because he went from the baddest Chicano in the barrio to now a detective for the LAPD? Answer me that. Did he lose his hands? I don't think so. So if you talk shit about Gallo Negro when he was from the hood, banging the hood, willing to sacrifice his life for the hood, do a life sentence for the hood, go all the way for the hood, if you think his hands changed from when he went from that to a fucking detective and blowing Miklo's leg off, you got it fucked up, man. He's still the same raza, and he still is brown, or maybe even browner than you. You know? All right. Jaden David, food community captions are crazy. Big speaker, wood general, and everything. They're crazy, huh? Oh, man, I'm hot. I'm already wrapping up. Whew, I'm hot. I gotta go eat. I'm hungry, gente. Ribeye time. All right, anyways, gente. I gave what I thought was sufficient enough. My response over to these podcasts that keep naming me, it blows me away. It surprises me how much things have changed. And things have changed a whole lot where I don't recognize it. Not that I want to. I don't recognize it anymore. This shit is so watered down. It's like 90% water. 90% water. And salute over to everyone on what they do and whatever journey they want to take inside of life. And salute everyone that's just doing the internet because it's entertaining as hell. And they just want to be on the internet and doing their thing. And they're dropping names to get reactions. Salute over to them. Salute to the Clippers. Salute to all the podcasters. Gente, live on Chicano Tube. Live on Chicano Street. Gente, buenas noches. And shout out to everyone that's in the comment section. And if you're listening on the replay, it's an 831 thing. It's an Alisal District thing. And you already know what it is. It's nothing but a brown thing. Gente, on both sides, man. Right? Red and blue, make green. Nothing but the raza. I'm out, gente. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed over to the channel. And if you're watching on Twitch, I see you. Facebook, I see you. YouTube, I see you. Next Tuesday, we're live with Umpanak, Boricua Mami, and Carol, a.k.a. Little Loca. Gente, we're out.